My question is to the Premier. The Eglinton LRT has been under construction for 12 years. It has also spiraled beyond its estimated cost from the original $5 billion to nearly $13 billion, and it's likely to rise as well. While the consultants building this project keep racking up the bill, we get faulty LRT platforms, in fact stations, that are broken up and taken away in dump trucks. Speaker, taxpayers whose hard-earned dollars are funding this project, long-suffering residents, businesses that actually went bankrupt and had to close down, are all looking for answers. They want transparency. So my question to the Premier is, how much more money, how much more of people's hard-earned dollars will your government waste?
The Associate Minister of Transportation.
Thank you very much, Speaker. This government shares the frustrations of those residents and businesses that have been affected by this project, which was, of course, started by the Liberals, and we're going to do it better. We're going to make sure we finish the job and learn from their mistakes. In fact, Speaker, that's the very first thing we did in 2018 by introducing the Building Transit Fast Track, which said, let's simplify the process. I'll give you one example, Speaker. The reason there's years of delay into this process is that every time you wanted to break ground on a station, you need to get a different permit for every station down the line. We streamlined that, so one permit would actually clear the process and get it done faster. That's how the Eglinton West extension is more than 50% dug, a month ahead of schedule on the record transit expansion this government is introducing. Speaker, we wish we could turn back time and fix the Liberals' mistakes from the beginning, but we can't do that. What we can do is learn from them and make sure we do it better moving forward. That's exactly what we're going to do. Record transit is coming to the great people of Toronto and this province.
After over a decade of construction with numerous delays and billions of dollars over budget, this government said that the crosstown was finally going to open in 2023, this year. Now, when the project is supposed to be near completion, it is troubling to see newly built, never-used stations being ripped out with absolutely no information. Minister, people across Toronto are wondering, what is going on with the Eglinton Crosstown LRT project? Will it ever open?
The Associate Minister of Transportation.
Thank you, Speaker. The member asked for information. We're happy to provide that. This government is not only building record transit, we want to make sure that we open it safely. We all see what happens when you rush transit projects to open. Like in the case of the Ottawa LRT, I'm sure the member from Orleans would have a lot to say about that and how not to actually open transit. Speaker, that's why we're taking our time. The Sloan platform was made out of a section of concrete that was identified through a strict and rigorous process that it was not up to the standards, that was ready to introduce transit for people to make it safe to ride. Speaker, this government is going to not only build that record transit, we're going to make sure we do it right so that it's safe and that it's enjoyed for generations to come. We know hundreds of thousands of people are moving here every year. We're increasing the subway grid by 50%, investing more dollars than any government has ever done, Speaker. That includes the opposition who supported the Liberals while for decades they simply did nothing to build transit, connect the grid. We're getting it done for commuters in Ontario.
And the final supplementary, the member for Ottawa Centre.
Thank you, Speaker. Back to the Premier. We've talked to the neighbours around the slow station of the Eglinton LRT. Do you know what they tell us, Speaker? There's a smell coming from that station, and it's not construction dust. The smell is corruption. So what about some specific questions?
Yeah, I'm going to ask the member to withdraw.
What about some specific questions? What about Brian Guest, the disgraced consultant who helped build the Ottawa LRT that this government fired in January, and that the Minister of Transportation promised this House there would be an investigation into Mr. Guest? Well, I've FOI'd it, Speaker. There has been no investigation into Brian Guest. The costs keep getting racked up. So the question we need to have answered in this House is, how many more consultants like Mr. Guest are going to get rich while crosstown costs go through the roof? How many more deficient projects are they going to build? And more importantly, Speaker, will this government today, as it did when we demanded it from Ottawa, declare a public inquiry into this mess? Simple answer to the question, yes or no.
The Associate Minister of Transportation.
Wow, Speaker, the irony from the fiscally conservative New Democrats of Ontario this morning, standing up when the cameras are on and pretending to be the defenders of transit when for decades they supported the Liberals when they did absolutely nothing to expand the grid or improve rider experience. Speaker, in fact, when the cameras were off, not only did they say that they supported transit when they were on, they actually voted against the Building Transit Fast Track. They said no to the Eglinton West extension. They said no to the Yonge North extension. They said no to the fine people of Scarborough and the Shepherd East extension. And Speaker, they said no to the Ontario line. They said no to transit that runs through their own riding, Speaker. And now they say no to modernizing transit, to expanding the grid, Speaker. They say no to more fare options. Speaker, this is a party of no when it comes to transit. This government is getting it done for commuters in Ontario.